What's up, everyone? It's Peter Tragos, the lawyer you know, and today we're going to react to a video which was what I reacted to this morning and woke up to because everybody's talking about the video of Will Smith smacking Chris Rock in the face after making a joke about his wife. And in today's video, we'll talk about what potential criminal or civil charges could be coming Will Smith's way and whether or not words will be a defense to any of those charges. So thank you for joining us. As always, if you haven't already, subscribe to our page for content like this, because this is what we do. We react and bring what legally could happen in situations like this and answer questions as much as we can, and we bring you the content that you guys are interested in. So make sure you subscribe to our page, like the video if you like this content. So to set the stage, we are at the Oscars here, and Chris Rock is giving his monologue where he literally goes person by person making fun of things that have happened this year, of people that are in the room, of movies, of shows, whatever it is, he's going to make fun of it. That's why they choose Chris Rock and not some, professional public speaker or host or auctioneer to just say words up there. They want somebody who's funny, who's going to make jokes, who's going to rip people. And our society seems to be getting more and more sensitive and wanting to censor comics more and more. And it's something that they have pushed back against a little bit, but also some of them have succumbed to that and have toned down some of their jokes. So the joke here that was aimed toward Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith's wife, was that Chris Rock can't wait to see G.I. Jane 2. And if you've ever seen G.I. Jane, Demi Moore shaves her head and she's bald-headed in the movie. And it was aimed at the fact that I think Jada Smith either had short hair or a bald head while sitting at Will Smith's table. And that was the joke. And here's what happened after. Let's take a look and watch this video together.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So Will Smith walks on stage in front of all these people and on live TV and smacks another man across the face. Now, in America, they cut off. The show at this point went to commercial. But I think in Japan is where this video is from. They posted what happened afterwards. So at first I thought it was fake. Okay, when I first saw the video, heard the story, I thought it was fake. I thought it was all put on for show. And I still think a little piece of me still believes it was. But Chris Rock's reaction there where he said, whoa, he obviously wasn't ready for it as he had his hands behind his back, which to me is kind of a punk move by Will Smith to walk on stage where a guy definitely doesn't think you're going to hit him and you slap him in the face. He wasn't ready. I'm not saying Chris Rock could beat up Will Smith. I would take my money beyond Will Smith, but at least make it a fair fight. Like, this guy's working, got his hands behind his back, telling jokes, laughing. Probably you're also, in comedy movies and funny. He probably thinks you're coming up to add to the joke, but no. And even more context is provided in their exchange after the slap. Let's watch it here.
Will Smith just smacked the out of me.
Will Smithにやられました。
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's
G.I. Jane のジョークだったんです。
mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay.
So, still kind of a giggle and a laugh from Chris Rock. He's probably trying to play it cool. He's getting paid, again, to be there to a job. And Will Smith says, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth twice, meaning that was legit. He did it because of the G.I. Jane joke. And Chris Rock is like, are you serious, man? It was a G.I. Jane joke. Literally. That's what made Will Smith come on stage and slap him. And then the final part of the video shows kind of Chris Rock's immediate reaction.
That was a greatest night in the history of television.
That was the greatest night in the history of television. So again, a little inkling of if it was fake, this would be the motive for them doing this and acting this out, because everybody'd be talking about it today, which we are. So maybe it was fake. But let's talk about what civil and criminal implications could come from something like this for a normal person. First, you could obviously have assault and battery, civilly and criminally. Civilly, there'd have to be some kind of damages. Now, he could say maybe he lost wages because it didn't do as well as it should have, but actually probably made more money because there were more eyes on it, more people talking about it because of this. So civilly speaking, Chris Rock has already come out and said, I'm not going to file any charges against him. I'm not going to press any charges. I'm not going to sue him, nothing. So that's not going to happen. Now, criminally speaking, even if the victim, Chris Rock, does not want to press charges, technically law enforcement and the state attorney's office could move forward with charges if they see a crime has been committed. If this was a normal person, let's think about the scene. There's all these people here. There's plenty of security. There's cameras on it. And this man, Will Smith, just committed a crime. And then backed it up saying, don't talk about my wife. So let's talk about whether or not words can be a defense to assault or battery. The answer is sometimes. You see on Twitter people saying, oh, the guy just made a joke, you can't hit him for that. People saying, oh yeah, right, yes you can. That was all over Twitter, people saying, you're not from where I'm from, you get hit if you say things like that. Well, legally speaking, for the most part, you punch somebody for saying something, you could still go to jail. But let's talk about some of the circumstances where words can be a defense. Usually in the states and jurisdictions that this is a thing, it is for simple battery and simple assault, not punching somebody, leaving serious bodily injury, using a gun, using a weapon, hitting them, with a pistol whip or something like that. It wouldn't apply to anything serious. It would apply to, a pump fake, assault, scaring somebody, or probably a slap in the face, because it didn't look like there was any blood or serious injury to Chris Rock right here. So this would probably fall under the simple battery category. Now, just because it's simple battery doesn't mean words are enough. The words have to be enough. And there's no set standard. It can kind of go to the jury to decide whether or not the words Chris Rock said were bad enough to invite a simple battery response. So if you were the jury, do you think the words were enough or not enough? And if you think they're enough, put G.I. Jane in the comments. If you think they're not enough, put battery in the comments. So the other element to if words are enough for a simple assault or battery is they have to almost be contemporaneous. It has to almost be a direct response to the words. It cannot be a day later. It cannot even be an hour later, according to most of the case law in some of these jurisdictions. So the next question is, was this close enough in time? Now, most of the case law is around you're in each other's faces, or even like Theodore Edgecombe, if you remember back to that case, where the guy drives by, he drops the N-bomb on him, and then he chases after him and punches him. That would be immediately after. But if you remember, in that jurisdiction, words were not enough. Theodore Edgecombe pled guilty to that battery. But if we talk about whether or not words are contemporaneously responded to with action, this is in that gray area, because it's not an hour later, it's not a day later, but he also didn't say it to Will Smith's face and Will Smith responds with a slap. That would be contemporaneous. This, he said the words, he continued on his monologue, Will Smith got up from his chair, walked up to him and slapped him. So I think arguably it could fit into the contemporaneous, and arguably it could fit into the immediacy of the response of the words. But in order for words to be enough, they have to be severe enough to warrant that response and that reaction. And this is where Will Smith would lose every time, in my opinion, if he was a normal person, which clearly he is not. He hasn't been arrested. There's no investigation. Chris Rock saying he doesn't want to press charges. If this was just a fan that walked on stage and slapped Chris Rock, what do you think would have happened? I think it'd be very different. We'll save that conversation for the end. But Will Smith, here's a joke about his wife. Okay? Now, I've seen some other people post online, if you want to really make a joke to cut deep on Will Smith about his wife, you could have picked something much worse. I agree with that. But he makes a joke. She's an actress. He makes a joke about her acting in another movie, which was not a cut. Demi Moore was in the movie because of her hairstyle. Now, a lot of people have said she has a condition where she has trouble growing hair, and it was offensive, but he didn't make fun of her condition. He simply just said she may star as an actress in a movie, which is in fact what she does for a living. So I don't see how a reasonable jury could think that that joke rose to the level of warranting that response. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with that. Now, let's talk about whether or not our criminal justice system treats everybody equally. I think we all know the answer to that is no. And a lot of people can find a lot of things that court systems and judges and lawyers look at that make them treat people differently. But in this scenario, any non-famous person who was caught on camera with security around and all these witnesses walking up to somebody that was working and slapping them in the face would at least have some kind of repercussion, some kind of backlash. Because think about it, this happens every year at multiple award shows. So if this is okay, what's to stop other actors or actresses from walking on stage and physically assaulting and battering the person making the jokes? To me, it's not okay. Do I think he needs to go to jail? No, but I think he at least should get a slap on the wrist of some sort in order to deter future similar conduct, because that's really what we want to deter in this situation. And I think I will get some pushback because there are certain circumstances where we don't want everybody to be treated equally, where certain things do matter. And we've talked about it before, especially when it comes to sentencing. If one person has 15 charges in the past and 15 convictions, they shouldn't get the same sentence even if they're convicted of the same crime as somebody who has had a life of helping people, being a philanthropist, being a EMT or whatever you want to say, a first responder, or something that they've done helping people their entire life. They shouldn't get the same sentence as somebody who's a career criminal. We agree there. But as far as something like this, where it is so obvious that you shouldn't do things like this, even if you are an actor, even if you are a famous person, even if you are a rich person, I do think there needs to be something done to deter this conduct. Now, I don't think you should speak about people's wives like that. I definitely don't think that's okay. And I think in a normal setting, that would not be okay. But I think you subject yourself to that if you go to the Oscars, you know there's going to be a comedian doing a monologue like this, making fun of people. So there's an element of that. But let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree, or what you think should happen in this case, because I'm really interested, because to me, I don't think this is okay. I don't think we want a society that's going around slapping people for telling jokes basically at a comedy show. I don't think that's okay, but I could be wrong. Let me know what you guys think as potential jurors, because in certain circumstances, in certain jurisdictions, you might be called upon to answer the fact question of, was this a bad enough joke or bad enough words to where Will Smith responded close enough in time and appropriately, and Chris Rock got what he deserved? Let me know in the comments if that's where you fall. As always, thanks for being with us. Like the video on the way out. Thanks for watching this episode of The Lawyer You Know. If you like this content, please share it with your friends. Make sure you subscribe to our page and like our videos. If you want some interaction, get in the comments and we'll be sure to get back to you. If you want to know any more information about our firm or this page, you can find out in the description or visit tragoslaw.com. We post multiple times throughout the week, so make sure you hit that bell so you can get the notification and not miss out on the next episode.